walk all over us. We let people do whatever they want because we don't have boundaries. You know where we learned this lack of boundaries from? It's from growing up. It's from growing up. You have a little kids growing up, especially I'm speaking to girls specifically. So let me speak to that. You have little girls growing up, and there are certain things you don't understand, like why are people in my room? Why are people using this? So they want to start setting boundaries, and we, the grown women who have been unable to set boundaries because of the situation we found ourselves, because of how we were not taught to set boundaries, we teach them that it's not okay to draw lines with people. It starts with even family members. We teach them that it is not okay to draw lines. It's not okay to have that as a boundary. It's family. You just allow people to walk all over you. And that translates to how, we as black women allow men to treat us. I'm saying black, maybe not black, everybody, whatever. But like, in this part of the world, at least that's what I've known. So you have a boundary, like, don't speak to me in that manner, in that tone, or don't point fingers at me, or don't hit me. Like, it's not cool. You draw lines, you're ready to issue out consequences, and there are these fears of you being alone, or you ending up being ostracized from your family. All of those things are there, but we're not really helping our young girls. We're not helping our young girls by telling them and teaching them by our actions and by the things that we see, trying to correct them, that they shouldn't have boundaries. Because these children grew up having boundaries. I remember back then, when we were growing up, right, in the house back then, people visit and it's just natural that you just give them your room to sleep. That was violating. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. It felt like I didn't have a privacy, like I didn't belong, that was not my space, like that was not really, a place I could call mine where I was sleeping. So in my head, I remember that I let it go. I used to tell myself that when I have my own place, I'll be able to operate in it the way I wanted. So I didn't quite feel like I belonged there. I always felt like it was like rent, and that was my parents' house. So even these little children, the girls especially, because you grow up knowing that having standards, you just know that you're special. From a baby, they make you feel like, wow, you're all that. But as you grow up, so it's a fine line, right, between this boundary setting and entitlement, and being obnoxious and being rude and not being. So it's a fine line. But by all means, it's important for us to let our girls, understand that drawing lines for people, or having an opinion, or having boundaries is not wrong. Because by the time we kill that, right? It all adds up to going through life with a low sense of self-worth, with a warped sense of self-worth, if it exists. And I think that these are some of the things that show up in the way we handle our relationship with people, bosses, friends, with normal relationships, love relationships, marriages, and things like that. If your boundaries are not high, if your expectations or your standards for what you expect to happen to you is not high, people are going to walk all over you. Family is going to walk all over you. Black tax will kill you. Like, I'm going to make another video on this issue of black tax and how it affects daughters. I'm speaking to women, right? Their expectations, all of these things, we need to be able to instill boundaries. So what I'm going to take away from it, or do for myself, is I'm going to go back home. I'm going to have a conversation with my girl. I want to have a conversation that borders on boundaries and setting about. She's quite independent girl, has a mind of her own, has certain expectations. And I think I find myself, clamping down on those things. But I shouldn't, because they show up later on in life. They show up as you not having boundaries in your relationship and people walking all over you, and that's not right. So it was just a thought. I thought, put it out there. So if you struggle to set boundaries in your relationship, or you feel some type of way, or generally maybe in your family or anything like that, and if you're struggling with something like that, give me a call or send me a DM. Let me support you and teach you how to set healthy boundaries, because it will really tell on your self-esteem if you are unable to set boundaries for yourself. Do you even know what boundaries are? Let me know how I can help you.